What's up everybody, I'm Rob and welcome back to my channel. I am back with the Villain's Lair series, episode 3, The Plan by Pattycake Productions. The first 2 episodes were just excellent and no reason to suspect that this should be any different, so let's continue with it. The Villain's Lair. I'm sorry, I couldn't resist.
You're saying you know of a way to undo all the wrongs we've endured?
I don't believe him. He's hiding something.
Let him speak.
I warn you, this had better not be a waste of our time.
No games, Doctor.
I do love games. How about a game of croquet?
This man is a fraud. I know the kind. He's like those cursed gypsies. They're all thieves and liars.
I won't sit here and be insulted. Evening, y'all. Would have been fun. Your loss. Pardon me, Muscles, but I got business with a certain princess.
Sit back down.
Yes. If what you say is true, then we are indeed in debt to you. Bring him.
Whoa, whoa, easy, friend. My, you got biceps to spare.
And not a bit of me scraggly or scrawny. And every last inch of me's covered in...
Silence! My patience grows thin. Tell us what you know.
This plan is foolproof.
I shall be the judge of that.
I discovered a way to control time itself. A power so strong, it can alter the events of the past, the present, and the future.
What is it?
Any of y'all ever heard of the sundial of Kronos?
The fabled sundial of the ancient god of time? How would you know of such ancient magic?
So it looks like we're taking a break from the musical aspect of it. And don't get me wrong, that's not a bad thing at all. And I do miss their singing voices because each musical piece in the last 2 episodes were just excellent. But now we can focus on the cast acting abilities, and obviously singing and acting are 2 different things. So it's great that we get to see both of them being showcased in their own time. But let's continue.
My friends on the other side, of course. They're all familiar with the underworld and its secrets.
The sundial of Kronos.
God of time. I assume you haven't gathered us here to discuss bedtime stories.
Back when the universe was new, there were only titans. Kronos, among the most powerful, was the god of time. He became obsessed with his power and altered time to bring about death and destruction.
Sounds delightful.
The powerful titan created the gods of Olympus, but he was petty, spiteful, and he wanted all his competition destroyed. One god fought back and defeated Kronos. The mighty Zeus.
You there!
I stand
Do you
corrected.
understand a word of what he's saying?
It's all Greek to me.
After Zeus defeated Kronos, he imprisoned him. Some say he was locked away on Tartarus. Some say it was a cave of night. But they were wrong.
The sundial. He was banished in a sundial.
Figure that out all by yourself, did you? The sundial gives the owner power to control time itself.
Nonsense.
I'll show you nonsense, old man.
Enough! This is quite a tale you spin.
If what you say is true, where is it? How do we find this dial? Step away from there.
The cards will tell. Ooh, it's at the Princess Academy.
Of course it is.
You mean our adversaries and their simpering friends have this power? How?
Hades wielded his power for a time, but when he was defeated, it was thought to be lost. But there was one person who knew of his location.
Who?
Hades' captive, Megara.
Or Meg, as she's more commonly known.
Zeus entrusted the
Okay, so since the first 2 episodes were, again, musically focused, I think we're starting to lean towards more of the story aspect of the series, which I think is a great direction to go in because, well, we have to see the actors showcase their talents, and now we get to focus on the story, which I think is a great direction to go in. I have to say, each actor is representing each of their, I'm sorry, I lost my train of thought, Disney villain's personality perfectly. I gotta give props to the casting director because they are absolute genius. And anyway, let's continue.
sundial to Lair and ordered it sent to the Prince's Academy to be kept safe.
We must kill her.
Off with her head! Patience. Retrieving such an item from a palace guarded by magic will require a bit more finesse.
What's that?
It will require skill, cunning, and expertise. All qualifications I readily possess.
Get that sundial, and we can control time with ease. 1, 2, 3. Revenge.
I assume you know how to unlock its power.
That's where me and my friends were at a loss. I was hoping one of y'all would know.
I knew he was a fraud.
I'm afraid your usefulness has come to an end.
Off with his head.
Ugh, starting to creep me out.
Something you find amusing?
This fool asks us to go to great lengths to procure an ancient mystical sundial and doesn't even know how to wield its power.
That's actually a good
How
point.
quaint.
It's a sundial. Perhaps the sun.
If only it were that easy.
I'm to understand you know how to use this dial?
Why, of course, Your Majesty.
Oh, please, dear. Call me Your Highness.
How does it work?
The light of the sun moves time forward, so it would be safe to assume.
The light of the moon moves time backwards.
So the legend says. But for a deed this dark, we must violate the laws of nature itself. A blood moon.
It's too bad you can't do your
Magic-y thing
Whoa.
and make a blood moon.
Any ideas?
Magic mirror, instruct this knave. Give him the answers he doth crave.
These women are nothing but trouble.
I quite agree.
How amusing. There'll be no need for mirrors. I have the power.
You?
But of course, my dear. All the forces of darkness are mine to command. Creating a blood moon is but a trifle for the mistress of all evil.
Let's get that dial.
We should strike immediately.
We mustn't draw attention to ourselves. If those princesses and their filthy friends discover our plan, they'll try to stop us. Best we take a more subtle approach.
I'll go get it. I was a princess once too, you know.
I said subtle.
We'll need to sneak in.
Disguise ourselves as princesses.
Exactly. You need to be
You
careful.
already have the dress.
I'll do it. I'm something of an expert in disguises. I'll get into that school and befriend this Meg.
And then what? Ask nicely.
Oh no, she's going to give it to me. And I've always said if you want something done right, do it yourself.
Wow. Oh my gosh. Okay, the more of these I watch, the more invested I get into this story. And it was great to see all the villains, Disney villains, come together to get revenge on the heroes of the Disney movies. So they're becoming the Dark Avengers of Disney. If you don't know who the Dark Avengers are, they're the villains of Marvel. But they come together like the Avengers, and that's exactly what's happening here. And I agree with that. I actually agree with the Disney villains. I never thought I'd say that, but they can't just go storm into that castle and take the sundial. They have to be very careful and very precise on how to get it, because, well, if you go into it all frantically, nothing's productive is going to get done. But anyway, I don't want to ramble too much here. I have a feeling that we're going to start to get to see even more Disney characters as the villains confront the heroes, but I don't want to get too ahead of myself. So all that being said, as always, let me know in the comments what you think. Thank you for watching.